Hi folks, today we're going to be trying out the DBrand Universal Mount for their Killswitch case for the Steam Deck. And so I had to 3D print these. They say they're going to be selling these later, but for right now this is what we have to work with. So if you have a 3D printer, the files are out there. I'll put a link in the description so you can check it out. And really, you print out these two pieces, which are hard to print, to be honest. I've got an Anchor Make M5 printer, and I had to print them several times, and they really work best kind of on their sides with supports. So these are the best ones I've been able to print so far, and really just going to need this and some super glue. And then there's a couple of other things you can use, such as either some double-sided tape, or in this case we're going to try basically some Velcro. And I'll have links to all this stuff in the description so you know what I'm using here. But really, this stuff can be had for pretty cheap on Amazon. In fact, I ran out of Gorilla Glue. You can really use any super glue, but I went ahead and picked this stuff up because I was out. So we're just gonna go with the thick glue here. It's got thin and thick. And really we just have to put some glue on there and then stick this to it. Hopefully this is easy enough. Maybe it doesn't need it. Let's see. Okay, good. I'm just going to put some around the connection points here. Make sure I'm a little liberal with it. I want to make sure this stuff sticks and doesn't come loose. We're going to put that over here and just keep ourselves safe there so we don't glue our hands to anything. And then it lines up pretty much only one way to fit in. So we're going to do that. Now hopefully this only takes a few seconds. Of course, it really depends on the super glue type you use. I actually tried this with a glue stick the other day and it did not work too well. So we're going to let that sit. And I think I'm going to just take something heavy like a candle and sit it on top of it just to ensure it has a little bit of time to bond there.
3 days later.
Okay, so we are back. I gave this some time to dry. I was actually going to give it an hour or so, but I ended up having to go out of town, so I just let it sit there for a few days. After an hour, it did feel like it was pretty sturdy, so I think it'd be fine. I think when you're just putting that much glue on, you need to ensure that it's going to stick well before you just trying to attach it like I did earlier. So we're going to go ahead and get started with how we're going to do this. So we're going to take off the kickstand that comes with the Killswitch, and you can see it's got the same type of attachment there. So we're going to put that to the side, and we're going to position this correctly on the back of the Killswitch case. So you need to find out how it's going to line up, because obviously you want your device to line up correctly. So when I put it on here and turn it, you can see that it kind of lines up correctly with the top of it here, and that's what we're going for. It feels a little loose, which I don't think is really the case with this one. Of course, this is a 3D printed part, so if it's not perfect, that's okay. Well, I guess, yeah, that one's got a little bit of flex to it. I do have another design I've been playing around with, which I might make another video on that, which is just kind of like a box here, but it doesn't really move much. But that isn't as flexible a design as the one provided by DBrand here. So, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to line it up again to make sure I'm in the right position. Okay, so the goal is to get this attached on here, which you can see I've got the two-sided tape. So you can attach it that way, or you can attach it with Velcro, which I'm going to do for this just because I don't know if I want to permanently attach it to this mount or not, but I've got the tape ready if I did want to. So we know that we're going to have to line this up correctly so that this fits on here, and that you can also make sure you can get to the USB-C power, like you see that on, hopefully, yeah, You can see that there. So I believe I've got it set up to where it will mount with my flexible USB cable this way. I'm going to grab that actually. And so I've used this in another video, but essentially I'm not using these additional adapters here. For this mod, I'm using the one right angle mod, which plugs into the top here. And then we can turn it to where it mounts kind of curved like this. And then we mount there. So that keeps it kind of out of the way so it's not sticking up above the Steam Deck. But the flexible cable allows for that. Now obviously, if it's not secured down, it's going to flop around here. But there's different ways you can do it. This bin right here seems to be the best for what I've tried. So we're going to go ahead and take that off for now, and we're going to try and mount this on here, and I'm going to show you how I do that. So we'll take that off, and we know that this is the top, which means that I want this USB-C pointing out the side here. So what I've done is I've taken 2 of these Velcro straps, which I have a link to these in the description. They're just some I bought years ago on Amazon, and they seem to work pretty well as long as you take 2 of them and you just reverse them. And I think I mentioned this before, but the reason you reverse them is so when they connect, they stick. Otherwise, if you try it with just a single one, it doesn't really work. So to attach this, we've got to make sure that we put it on through these 2 sides here. Since this is our top here and this is our side, I think we're going to need to put it through this. And you can see I'm coming from underneath. I can't go across the bottom because this right here will be a problem for us. We won't be able to mount it correctly. So I'm going to go across the top here. Well, I thought I was going to go across the top here. So there we go. We'll just try and get it kind of even on there. We have about the same amount coming out of both sides there. Okay, so something like that. And then we'll double check this one more time for fitment before we go and throw it on. Okay, yeah. So you can see that will come across there. So you can actually just do it this way. I mean, it's a good way to just make sure it's on there firm. And so position the SSD in the right form, just so you know you don't have to worry about that later. But we can just get this as tight as we can, because remember, we're just holding it on with this. So you want to make sure it's tight enough that it doesn't come loose. So let's see. It's a little tough to get that off, but if you look at this, you can see it does pretty well. It doesn't really flop off of there. Obviously you can put more Velcro on it or just use the tape to keep it on there. But this way seems to hold fairly well. So I'm going to go ahead and get this on. Make sure I've got the right angle here. And so then I'm going to put my 90-degree right angle in the top and give it that little bit of twist to get it in there. And you see now we've got a mount. So this is the DBrand official 3D printable mount. The hard drive is able to fit on there just fine. And there's some more information about how to actually get the hard drive to work with your Steam Deck. So if you want to see that, then no, probably should have taken that off first. If you want to see that, check out my other videos. But you can see that we've got a nice kind of low profile connection there, so that you're able to use this without it getting in the way of your fingers or without it sticking up off the top. Like if you're looking top down, you can see really the cable coming out, but that's about it. Some of the other solutions I tried had the cable sticking, you know, way up, or the cable was too long, that type of thing. So now we can go ahead and turn on our Steam Deck, and we should be able to come down to our settings and see our storage. So you can see I've got my internal drive, I've got my X6, that's a Crucial X6 drive, and then I've got my micro SD card. Let me get that a little bit closer, see if I can pick that up. So that's my X6 right there. The light may be a little abrasive. Let me bring that up some, make sure the camera can pick it up. So yeah, so now we can go over to the X6. So seems to run great, and of course you can just keep that on there or disconnect it. And the whole idea with this being interchangeable is if I want to take this off and not use it, then I can just go back to my kickstand. Alternatively, if you have any other devices, like I've seen people use this same type of thing here. Here's another one that I kind of did a bad job with that I might try and fix up here soon, but you could use this for something like a battery pack. So that's another good option as well. My biggest use is going to be the hard drive, and I'm normally going to keep things on here I don't access all the time. So I'm going to keep things like ROMs on here, that kind of stuff, or maybe big games that I just play occasionally. Because obviously if you have this hooked up, you can't charge it at the same time. So if I'm playing at home, I might have this attached. So anyway, hopefully that gives you an idea on how to use this, how to make it work. If you don't have a 3D printer, they do plan to come out with a version of this fairly soon. I think they said within the next few months. So hopefully you can pick it up then. But this is just a nice universal mount. And the one I showed you just a minute ago is more just one I've been playing around with. It's kind of squared off mount to fit this hard drive. So, you know, I might make a video on this one, but that's kind of the same idea. It's just I started working with this before they came out with the official adapter for it. So anyway, I hope this was helpful to everyone. If you enjoy the video, I appreciate it if you like and subscribe. And if you want to know more about how to set this up and get it working, then please feel free to check out my other videos. You don't have to have this mount or even this case. You can just use something like the double-sided tape and attach it back here. It even works with the kickstand and doesn't get in the way. So I'll put a link to that video out there as well at the end of this one. So thanks again, everybody. Have a good one.